Hi. Dead stroke, what is it? Before I get to that, I have 3 videos left, and this is one of the 3, so I have 2 more after this. I don't know, so I'm going to run out in a week from now, this time, next Wednesday. But I think I'm going to get creative. For the past couple of days, I've been doing everything I can to get a pool table in here. And now, if that happens, if I can manage to do that, you're going to see these videos just go up another 10 notches because I'll have overhead cameras on it. I'll have cameras at 4 or 5 different angles, and we can do a whole lot more with these YouTube videos if I'm in the comfort of my own home and I can do things my way. Comprende? So hopefully that works out soon. We're working hard on it. Back to the topic of this video is dead stroke. What is it? What is it? There's different names for it. I can't think of any other name but dead stroke. It's the feeling that comes from playing a lot. It's a feeling that you can't miss, and that the game suddenly just got super easy, and any 10-year-old could do it. So why was it ever difficult to begin with? And when I was young, I learned my lesson on being cocky about this, because that's what I would do. I get cocky. It's like, why is everybody missing? This game is simple. Anybody can do it. And I learned real quick that it can be taken away from you really, really fast. So I don't want to get into, spiritual stuff or anything, but it is like a gift. It's like, here, I'm going to give you this. You do with it what you will. And you're literally walking around the pool table like, Jesus, this is simple. And don't get arrogant about it. I want to warn you, don't take it for granted. Because in a minute from now, this game can go back to being seriously frustrating and difficult, and just drive you up a wall. And then you're wondering, why was I such a dick about playing good? I should have nurtured that. I should have took care of that. I should have been cool about that. This is something I think a lot of players have to just live through and learn. So that's my warning on that. If you find yourself in dead stroke, there's enough dicks in pool. There's a lot of dicks in pool. Don't be one of them. This sport really needs good people in it. And then don't take your talent for granted ever. And like I said, it can be taken away from you, and then you start wondering, oh my God, what did I do? I had it in my hands, and I threw it all away. Let's get on with this video and quit yakking. There's now, I can sit here and talk to this camera and you guys for the next 10 years, and there's nothing I can say about coronavirus that you guys haven't already heard. Hopefully we get through it. You've probably heard that a million times too, and hopefully we get through it soon. And things can get back to normal, and we can go back to living our lives. Which, if you're a pool player, includes playing pool. I'm jonesing to hit some balls, and there is nowhere that I can find around here to just knock a ball around the table. I could crash some old friends, but I haven't seen these guys in years, and I'm not going to call them and say, hey, can I use your pool table? Ain't going to do it. On my own pool table, I want it right here. I want to use this tragedy to take everything up 10 notches, not just 1 notch. You'll see, hopefully. Anyway, let's get on with it. Peace, man. Here we are again, and let's take a look at those first 4 balls. now let's take a look at the overhead so we can study the pattern a little bit before we start. If you're new here and you're not quite sure what those lines are, if you draw a line from the pocket you intend to shoot the object ball, all the way from the pocket through the object ball into the nearest intersecting rail, that is the line. We're not trying to get straight on the line in most cases. Sometimes we do want to get on the line and we want to play into the line, but you're just using that line as a relative base on where you want to put the cue ball. It's imperative before you start shooting balls to have some kind of plan. Even if your plan is wrong, you have to train your brain to go for something in particular. And if you get a little bit out of line and you have to change your plan, that's fine. You just change it and you adapt and you grow. But you have to have a plan. If you want to take your game up as many notches as you can afford to go, you have to start with a plan. So what exactly is my plan on these first 4 balls? And the 1 ball is straight into that pocket there. There's a couple, I could roll up a couple inches on the 2 and try to get straight in, and I'll still be perfect on the 3 to get back on the 4. And I think that's what I'm going to do here. I think I come up a little bit short of the 2 ball line, but I just stun it back and I'm still have the perfect. I mean, it's hard to screw this up. You can make the 3 ball from anywhere on the table. And you can make the 4 and get on the 5, and I'll show you the 5 in the next graphic. From pretty much anywhere on the table. There's a couple spots on the table you don't want to be, but we have a lot to work with here. And that'll be more clear to you as we go back to the actual video. I just shoot this with dead center ball and let the weight of, and I shoot it pretty hard, so I'm letting the weight of the cue ball just roll it up a couple inches. And I come up a little bit short, like I just mentioned. But it's all good. Let's take a look at the next 4 balls. Here's where it opens up a little bit. Like I said, I didn't get on the line on the 2, but you know, it's no big deal. I'm just gonna keep it from rolling back up table just by stunning it back, and I'll still have a great line on the 3 to get back on the 4. Now the 9 ball is getting in the game just a little bit, so we're gonna have to be careful not to get behind that 9 ball and block ourselves from the 4 ball. So y'all just have to be aware of that. And the 9 ball's right about here. So yeah, I mean technically you could get snookered behind it, but if you do something like that, you really need to go back and work on the basics of pool. Sorry, but you do. The only problem I see here, and it's not really much of a problem, is getting from the 4 to the 5. So you have to be a little bit careful of that angle coming down on the 4. You don't want to get. I mean, you have like half the table to work with, or well, not quite half, about 40% of the table to work with. So you know, again, you can't go too far wrong here. You want to stay up a little bit high on the 4 ball, and we're going to have to juice the 4 ball shot to get back behind that 5 ball on this side of the 5 ball. That's where you want to play that 5 ball. So you have to be a little bit careful because you do want an angle on the 5 to get back on the 6. But we'll cross that bridge in the next graphic, and the 6 hasn't come up. Just make sure you don't do anything silly here, and don't let the cue ball get away from you. It's okay to take a longer shot as long as you have a good angle on the 3 and on the 4. So let's go ahead back to the video. You're just putting a hair of bottom on this and just pulling it back just a little bit, and it's going to come up table a little bit, but you'll still be good on the 3 ball. here's what we're looking at. On this 3-ball shot, you don't have to hit this cue ball very hard for it to get a lot of momentum off that bottom rail. As long as your rail's tight, you should have plenty of speed to come back up table, but you have to stay on the right side of the pool table when you come back up, because don't forget that 9-ball obstruction. We need to work around that. You don't have to go to the extreme. You don't have to go all the way to the right-hand rail. But just put a little bit of right-hand English on this just to keep it on the right side. And from there, we're kind of stunning. We're spinning the ball, but we're also stunning it into this 4-ball, which should come up, after shooting a 3, the cue ball should be somewhere around where the cue ball is right now before you shot the 3. So that's your aiming point. And don't forget, we're trying to get on the back side of that 5-ball, but we still need an angle. I went to the rail, but I don't recommend doing that because you don't have a whole lot of room to work with once it hits that rail. You could easily get frozen up on this 5-ball or hit the 5-ball. So yeah, just don't forget the angle so we can bounce out from there and get on the 6, and the 7's just right by the 6. That's about it. Let's go ahead and roll. You're using top right here, but don't go crazy with it and stroke the hell out of this cue ball. You're just kind of just letting the cue ball, the weight of the cue ball, do its job and bounce off that rail and come back up table. We're spinning this cue ball with bottom right, and shoot this 4-ball and come up behind that 5-ball. This is a little bit tricky. Again, I would not recommend going to the rail. After we shoot it, I'll show you a better way to shoot it. And then we're bouncing off, and we get a little bit further to the right than I wanted to on the 6-ball, but it's a real easy fix. The only hard part is you really have to spin that 6-ball in 2, and I wouldn't recommend doing it like that. I would recommend doing it right. From there, we're just coming right back off 2 rails after we shoot the 6 to get on the 7. Let's go ahead and roll it, Scooby. Bottom right, and you really have to stroke this to get that spin off it. But when this shot is done, I'm going to rewind it and show you a better way to do it. Instead of going all the way to that left-hand rail on this shot, we could have let up a little easier on that stroke and just rolled it up to right about there. But I played the rail, and I really risked getting too close to this 5-ball or getting too sharp of an angle if I got too close. So it was really a little bit dangerous. But, and nevertheless, here we are. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next 4 balls. Here we are on the 5, and we're just bouncing off towards center table. And you could try to get straight. You could just bounce off that rail about a foot and get straight in on the 6 and draw back on the 6 and have a perfect angle on the 7 to get back on the line on the 8. But, people have different styles and different things they like to do and they stick with doing. I didn't intend to go exactly as far to the right as I got, but I did, and we got right about here. So I'm just spinning 2 rails back up I don't want to get straight in on the 7. I need that right hand rail to bounce off and get back on the 8. And you'll see how I played it. It was really, either way you do it, it'll work and it'll be fine. Stop right here, but if I was any closer to this 5 ball, I would spin right into the 8 ball, so you got to be careful here. Yeah, we got a bit of a cut here. I'm spinning this ball in old style 9 ball. Yeah, old school. In the style of Earl Strickland, Buddy Hall, who else? All the old dudes, you know. All the old geezers. I'm an old geezer, I guess. I do it the old geezer way. You don't like it, do it your way. Alright, spinning in, going 2 rails back up on the 7, but you need an angle. You need to stay below that 7 ball line. Let's take a look at the next 4 balls. What I was trying to say before, if we had shot that 5 ball to get straight on the 6 ball line, and say we stopped right here, we shoot that straight in shot and draw back a little bit on the 6, and then we have that V-shape kind of pattern on that 7 ball, so you shoot the 7, come off the bottom rail, and come back in line on that 8 ball. And from there we could shoot a stop shot on the 8 ball, and it's a straight in shot on the 9 ball. That would have been a great way to play it. If you saw that pattern, congratulations to you. I didn't quite see it, but here I am looking at it right now. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to save the rest. I'm going to come back and shoot this 6 ball to show you where I got on the 7. And I'm going to save the last 3 balls for the loop back. The loop back. That's what we'll call it, the loop back. The replay, all 9 balls from start to finish, the whole rack. And you know what, while we're here, it might look like I'm not really trying to run those balls. I am in dead stroke. And it might be a little bit deceiving. It might look like I'm not concentrating. I'm just lollygagging and not trying. Believe me, my concentration is 100% there. In fact, if you had walked up and talked to me while I was doing this, I wouldn't have known what my name is. That's how far gone I am when this is happening to me. So, I'm all there, and it might look like I'm not having any fun. Believe me, I'm frolicking through the meadows and dancing to stupid music while I'm doing this. It's all good. Anyway, let's go ahead and play the rest and do the loop back. Peace, man. Thanks for tuning in.